Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you very much for coming out. Appreciate you all coming in large numbers. Professor Sauraja, thank you very much. I believe you are one of the epitomes in education in our city, so thank you very much for gracing us. Friends, I am a sitting trustee of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat. I am standing for re-elections. Last Sara Cho Varasma, every Saturday morning you have read one side of a story, and every Sunday morning you've read the other side. I'm sure Tamil ko bhi thaki gaya also, trust me, aapne bhi thaki gaya. You're going to ask us then, why are 3 sitting trustees standing again for re-election? Well, I'm going to come to that piece by piece. Because a lot has transpired from 2015 to 2020 under the ex-chairman. But then a lot has happened from 2020 to 2022 under our new chairmanship of Mrs. Tirandaz. And that's what we want to show you. That's where we want to take you for the next 5 years. I'm going to go very briefly in history for just 5 minutes. Everybody knows I am the son of the ex-chairman of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat. I don't hide away from that fact. In fact, I'm very proud of it. Unfortunately, when I became a trustee in 2015, I stood as an independent candidate. I had a lot of dreams, I had a lot of visions, I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to implement. Unfortunately, I was singled out, bullied. I've had to sit in a boardroom where my father was wished dead. They attacked my mother verbally, they insulted her, they ridiculed her. My brother was beaten up. My personal life and pictures were thrown all over social media. In fact, just today on social media, there is some writing about Dr. Sunawala, who withdrew his support for me from 2015. But they will not tell you that ek divas pachi, he again said, "Nahi, I stand behind Viraf." He had a policy difference against Dinsha Mehta, for which he withdrew his support. But then in 24 hours, he came out to support me again. There are all these dirty games being played on social media and by the opposition camp. Quite honestly, that only makes me stronger. Manas jare, I badu kare na, it tells me I'm doing something right. Because he can't attack me on policy, he's trying to do all of this, put pictures on social media and write rubbish. But what really irritates me is when my chairman, your chairman, the chairman of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat, Mrs. Tirandaz, is ridiculed, mocked and insulted. And I'm not talking what happened 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I Mangalware, 4 divas palle bhi, the way Mrs. Tirandaz has been spoken to, she's been mocked. It is disgusting for any man, especially a trustee of any age, to talk to a woman, however young or old she is. It is shameful that any trustee would talk to a woman like that, and it is unacceptable. I bring this out because you all have to know what we have gone through for the last 6.5 years. And I will also apologize because the information I'm going to share with you is something we should have done from the very beginning. But we have not been transparent in our approach with the community, and that is our fault. But we take this platform today to hope that we can educate you as to what has happened, what is happening and what will happen. 2016, Mrs. Tirandaz won her second election and was re-elected as the trustee of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat. The very next month, May of 2016, the 4 majority trustees passed a resolution denying the 2 of us any information to the BPP. Matlab ke housing case files, legal case files, minutes of the meeting. So much so we were not shown the own BPP accounts. 2016 થી 2017 સુધી they all did this. Finally, in 2017, Mrs. Tirandaz and myself, we moved the Bombay High Court. And it is only after the intervention of Mrs. Noble's brother, Justice Kathawala, that we were able to make sure that from 2017 till posterity, every trustee of the BPP will have equal right to all information of the BPP. I thank the Kathawala family for that. Justice Kathawala also ensured that all BPP meetings are audio and video recorded. So there is no room for miscommunication or misinterpretation. To do that, Mrs. Tirandaz and myself paid our own legal fees. The 4 majority trustees spent 70 lakh rupees of community funds on that. 40 lakh rupiya to khali ek senior counsel ne apela. Jena fees 9 lakh rupiya per hearing ata. He was charging 9 lakhs a hearing, but they still employed him and his bill was 40 lakh rupees. Thanks to our intervention in the new scheme of election, in the new scheme, it is put that interstate trustee disputes, as what Xerxes has said, will be paid for by the trustees. And only after going to a judge in chamber of the Bombay High Court will the BPP pay either or both sides of the fees. Now the reason I am bringing all this is because after all this we are still standing here because we have a vision. But before that, let me ask you a simple question. If you've read the Parsi Junction or our common minimum plan, you will know what is the fixed running cost of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat every year. It's about 24 to 25 crore rupees. That means last 6 varas ma 250 crore rupiya thai. 150 crores. Against that, what is the income? 6 crore rupiya malech rent ma, ne aje 7 crore rupiya malech on interest on corpus, which used to be 10 crores, 9 crores, today is 7 crore rupees. So mota moti pakro 15 crore rupiya is our income. That leaves a deficit of 10 crore rupees. Over 6 years, that is 60 crore rupees. Now please ask yourselves, what project has the BPP undertaken in 6 years to bridge this gap? I know a lot of candidates have come and painted some very rosy pictures. One of my colleagues who's sitting on the opposite side has come and given you a lot of gyan. Thank you. Lot of gyan. But has anybody cared to ask them ki sahib 2015 થી 2020 સુધી તમે લોકો તો બેસેલા હતા majority માં. તમે લોકોએ શું કીધું? Were you that engrossed in ego battles that you forgot to work for the benefit of the community, for the trust? How did you bridge that 60 crore rupee gap? The answer is they did nothing. Nothing. Every single project that is being discussed today from our panel or from their panel also could have been done 6.5 years ago. And I can say this because we have gone through this firsthand. When you are sitting in the majority of the BPP, whether Viraf Mehta or our mighty Tirandas or any outside hand or inside hand cannot stop you from doing anything. Agar Mana Senior Besi ne bole na ki outside influence is stopping us, then I'm sorry, that is proving your inability to perform. Because as a majority of the BPP, you can do what you want, and which is what we have done. Last 2 varas ma, this majority trustees have raised 55 crore rupees for the BPP. And how have we raised 55 crore rupees? We have auctioned high value flats. I'm sure a lot of people will say कि ये लोग को majority में आवा पची ये लोग तो गैर खाली अमीरों ने बेचे गरीबों ने ये लोग को गैर आपताज न थी. A lot of WhatsApp warriors keep saying that. Do you know that from October 2015 till date, how many flats we have given for free? You all are not reading Parsi Junction. 232 flats have been given for free since October 15 till 2020. And do you know how many flats we have auctioned? Only 28 flats. 14 in Viraf Bags and 14 in BPP colonies. 28 flat auction karine, we have raised 55 crore rupees. Can you actually point a finger and tell us what we are doing is wrong? As Xerxes said, everybody wants to sit on the top of a mountain and say, "Nahi, badda gher free ma apo." Great, apne free ma apsu. But then how are you going to control this deficit of 10 crores a year? A 60 crore deficit that we have created in 6 years. There is no plan B, there is no plan C. Stage par avine besine apne hem karsu ne tem karsu is very easy. But we have done this for a reason. 28 flats out of 4,400 flats of the BPP. That is 0.6%. Not even 1%. 0.6% of the flats what we've auctioned to raise 55 crore rupees. And why not? The benefit to encash your tenancy should be given to every resident of every colony of the BPP. Aaj tamara Nawroz Baug ma, there are around 350 flats. I'm rounding it off. I know it's plus minus a few. From 350 flats, do you know how many are tenants? 260 of y'all are tenants. About 74-75%. But 90 people are licensees. 90 people are licensees. But if I take the entire corpus, inventory of the BPP, 60% are tenants and only 40% are licensees. Why this disparity? Why should it not be an equal right for all? I know people are calling, actually let me get to that in a bit. We passed a resolution in February of 2022. For the first time in the history of the BPP, we passed a resolution to convert all leave-in licenses to tenancy, giving equal rights to every single beneficiary of the BPP. And we did that not as an election lollipop, as people are saying. We did that after due diligence, after legal and tax opinion. This item has been on the agenda since January of 2021. A year and a half almost. This is something that I had spoken of in 2015, Xerxes had spoken of in 2018, Dinsha Mehta had spoken of in 2008. But it is only under the chairmanship of Mrs. Tirandaz and with Xerxes and myself did we actually implement it. And how did we do it? We went to Mullah and Mullah, the legal law firm of the BPP, Apra Khudna law firm. They gave us a written opinion. Jahangir Mystery gave us a written opinion saying yes, the trustees are legally allowed to convert leave-in license to tenancy. We went to DSK Legal. They gave us a written opinion saying yes, the trustees are within their legal rights. Kalyaniwala and Mystery gave us in writing that there is no tax liability on the BPP if you convert leave license to tenancy. And I'm going to keep repeating this because of people sitting on this very platform are saying it's not possible. It is not only possible, we have done it. We have passed 3 cases. Let me come back and first tell you, these legal opinions we have got costs lakhs of rupees. But we did not charge the BPP. We paid for it from our own pockets for your benefit. When we passed this resolution in February of 2022, by the time we did our due diligence and got our legal and tax opinions, we passed a resolution to start off with 3 cases. We resolved to pass those 3 cases. Unfortunately, one trustee went to the election commissioner, complained and put a stay. But these 3 cases that we passed were cases that fit within the guidelines of the BPP. There were no legal cases on these 3 cases. And we have also ensured the Parsi-only covenant is protected. We have got a Rent Act lawyer who has given us a full page of clauses in this contractual tenancy agreement, which gives the trustees a right to go to court and evict any tenant who will violate these clauses. It is not ki 15-20 varas laine manas, court ma rahi jaise. We have made sure of that. Friends, this is not a lollipop. This is an executed resolution that the 3 of us have managed to do. Xerxes mentioned that the BPP review was stopped because the gentleman doing it for free for the BPP was a friend of mine. Do you know that Mr. Rohington Mehta, sitting over here, had given the BPP a ready-made plan to redevelop Dhanbai Wadi? 10 ki 12 varas palle. Dhanbai Wadi is a BPP colony in Ville Parle. Cost of construction, his. Money to be paid to the BMC for permission, his. Cost to the BPP, 0. But at that point of time, the then trustee said, "Nahi, Rohington Mehta is a known friend of one of the then trustees," so that plan was scrapped. From 2015 to 2020, Mrs. Tirandaz and myself told the then majority, "Ki we have a ready-made plan. All we need to do is put an ad in the paper, call for tenders and take this project forward." The answer was no, because the idea came from us. The residents of Palmlands in NC Contractor Baug Mahim approached Mr. Mehta and myself and they said, "Look, we are getting old. Apre buddha thai gaya, apre building ho bhi junni thai gayi. Why don't we enter into a redevelopment plan and we will only take what is legally permissible to us, nothing more." I said, "Great. Ye logo sambheti aaya, to it is a step in the right direction." I went back to the BPP board and I said, "Look, the residents of Palmlands want to come and meet us. Let us take this project forward. Again, we'll get a builder which will be at no cost to the BPP. Do you know what answer I got? તું એકલો જઈને કાંઈ મળ્યો એ લોકોને પહેલે? So, we will put this on the back burner. સારા 3 વર્ષ થઈ ગયા છે. There has been no movement on this. The biggest slap on the face of the BPP has been the disbandment of Zing. Zing was the flagship youth group of the BPP. It was the BPP's youth wing. Started in 2009 under Dinsha Mehta's chairmanship. We are the world's largest Parsi Irani youth group. We have over 5,000 members. We did 130 events in 10 years. We were not a political group. We were not a religious group. Today, 55% of the Parsis live outside Bombay city, outside Parsi colonies. 45% of marriages are mixed marriages, and that number is only increasing. The lady from the Ministry of Minority Affairs came and told us, "Ki sir, if every living Parsi woman has 2 children, it will still not change the rate of decline of the Parsi population." Instead of encouraging a non-political and non-religious group whose only function was to be a social platform, you disbanded 3 years ago. And why did they do it? Because Viraf Mehta was a co-founder. We have to stop being political for no rhyme or reason. When we put up notices for auction of high value flats, what happens? One trustee puts his dissent note. આજે ગામડિયા કોલોનીની ઓક્શન ફેલ થઈ, રુસ્તમબાગનું ઓક્શન ફેલ થયું, because people are scared કે સાહેબ આજે આપણે તો ડિપોઝિટ આપીને આપણે we will take the flat, પણ 5 વર્ષ પછી જ્યારે લાઇસન્સી રિન્યૂ કરવામાં આવશે, what if the then trustees say no and say here is your deposit, thank you very much, now go? People are scared. Why should anybody have to live in fear? And the biggest drawback of a leave and license agreement, while people will tell you it has never been misused, let me tell you firsthand, and I can be recorded on this, they are lying. I have sat in a board where licensees have been threatened. A few years ago, a young boy came to the board and he was told, "Ki tu to licensee chhe na, tu renew karwao, joy lesu tane." That boy called me that same night, and when he spoke to me, I actually got scared. He's like, "Viraf, I am a middle class man. I have a wife and 2 nalla bachao. If they throw me out, where will I go? And I don't have the money to go and fight the BPP in court." That crack I heard in his voice, I got scared and I said, "Look, do not do anything stupid. No matter what happens, we are here to protect you." Why should anybody have to live in this fear? We have taken steps in the right direction to ensure that all licensees are protected under the Rent Act. All the tenants have a right to encash their tenancy. Today, the Panchayat has sent 200 notices for locked flats. We have filed 65 cases. We have another 100 notices going out. Now, why not we settle with somebody who has a locked flat? Ene kai paisa malse, Panchayat e thoda revenue malse, and a third family comes into a Parsi colony to start his life. Or should I take that person to court and fight him for 20 years? It is a 3-way victory. But yet we are being lambasted for this. Friends, for all of those who are living on leave and license, when the licensee expires, your license expires with him. It is the prerogative and the wishes of the trustees if they want to renew your license. If you are a senior citizen and you want to today give up your flat and go to Navsari or Surat, America or Canada to live with your grandchildren, if you're a licensee, you get nothing. As Xerxes has said, ki last 13 વર્ષ માં Mrs. Irandas Terivas બોલ્યા ખાલી 5 ઘેર મળેલા છે સંભેથી, તે બી ફ્રીમાં. Is it not the right of somebody senior who wants to go to his family to have some money for his old age? Why would you want to deprive any individual of this? Today everybody talks about the Godrej Baug ownership building. They આપણે તો auction of flats બંધ કરશું ને આપણે Godrej Baug ownership વેચીને 150-200 કરોડ રૂપિયા મળી જશે. ગ્રેટ. પણ સાહેબ 5 વર્ષમાં જ્યારે તમે લોકો મેજોરિટીમાં બેસેલા હતા, કાંઈ નહીં કીધું. You are sitting here and talking ill about the auction of high value flats. We've had to do that because there is no other income. And what they will not tell you is that because Godrej Baug has the Urban Land Ceiling Act, we have to go to the old custom house and get clearance from the city surveyor's office. Ena pachi, we will get the IOD and CC. This process will take at least 1 year, if not more. And only after obtaining these licenses and certificates can we then receive any deposits on these ownership flats. That means for 1 year I cannot even monetize Godrej Baug ownership. That means I have a 10 crore deficit, which will be in hand for 22-23. Plus, as Xerxes mentioned, we have a 13 crore rupee current outstanding. That means 23 crore rupees money I varasma somehow I have to raise. How are you going to raise it if you don't auction only high value flats? If 28 flats can raise me 55 crores in a matter of 2.5 years, I need that to survive for the next 1 year. I need to restart Godrej Baug ownership to monetize it, which is 1 year away. The Navsari ownership building which is stuck, which will give me 15 crore rupees, is still a good 6 to 9 months away. We have the Bharucha Baug ownership building, we have Panthaki Baug, we have so many projects. Let's come to your very own colony, Nawroz Baug. Ever since Mrs. Tirandaz has become the chairman of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat, we have not had a single meeting with any committee of Nawroz Baug on redevelopment. But from what I have been made to understand, from the 350 flats that you all have in Nawroz Baug, the project that was proposed was almost 1,000 flats. 350 to rehouse, 200 flats to be given for free to new Parsis, and 400 flats to be sold. From a cost of construction of 3,000 and 4,000 rupees to a sale price anywhere between 20 and 30,000 rupees. The project was going to give you a 20,000 rupees clubhouse, swimming pool, football ground, everything. The ex-chairman, Mr. Viraf Mehta, is over here because at our last committee meeting, we were told that the impression is that the project then was stalled because of some intervention on his part. But he will clarify that. But that is his clarification. But what do we do going forward? This project is a 11 lakh square foot project, which will cost 400 crore rupees. And will generate another probably 300 to 400 rupees in profit. Sorry, 300 to 400 crores in profit. Thank you. For the BPP. Why is there no positive step in taking it forward? And also please ask yourselves a very important question. From the Godrej Baug ownership building to the Bharucha Baug ownership building to even Nawroz Baug redevelopment. J trustee 4-5 વર્ષ માં જે મેજોરિટીમાં બેસીને were willing to discuss and take this forward. Last 2 વર્ષમાં, because they have sat in a minority, why have they not cared to discuss or take this forward even then? Because they want to sit in the minority and point a finger and say, look, ये लोगों कई काम करता ज નથી. But last 2 વર્ષમાં, we have gone through 2 COVID lockdowns, we have gone through 1 hunger fast, and we are doing the best we can. We've raised 55 crore rupees. Friends, I can go on and on and on, but it is for you all to see where and what is being done. I know that last time in Besine, एक trustee took out the court order of February 2022 कि आई जाओ Justice Kathawala Mr. Viraf Mehta ने सू बोलियो. Testimony to that 10 or 15 minute speech that he gave against the policy decisions of Justice Kathawala and with Mr. Viraf Mehta. Let me tell you that I am proud to say कि आज Justice Kathawala's sister Mrs. Maruk Noble is sitting on the same platform with us because we share the same ideology and the same point of view. If somebody has to sit over here and show you a court order and try and prejudice your mind, you should be asking him कि साहब 4 વર્ષ जे 5 વર્ષ તમે બેસેલા હતા મેજોરિટીમાં, what did you do? And it irritates me to stand here and say this because when Mrs. Tirandaz became chairman of the BPP, she inherited a bankrupt BPP. And I use this word lightly. Ki J Manas 5 varas is only doing ego battles and fighting with people, did not work for the BPP, today sits over here and questions the same policy that is helping the trust survive. I'm sorry I get excited about this, but it boils my blood. I was 38 years old when I became a trustee of the BPP. I didn't sign up to fight. I didn't sign up to have my family mocked, my brother beaten, my chairman insulted. We are the apex body of this community. We should be behaving like it. I'm going to stop. Sudhi, I have so much I can do and I will relax. Thank you. But friends, one very important point. May 29th is D-Day. Please do not come and vote for only one of us. Because we have sat in the minority and we know when you're singled out, you cannot do anything for the BPP. But we have also seen that when you're a majority, what you can do. We've shown you how we've been able to raise money. We've shown you what our short-term plan is. We've shown you what our long-term plan is. 5 fingers on their own will not be able to do anything. Help us make it a fist and we will show you what we can do after May 29 for the next 5 years. So please come out and vote on May 29 and vote for all 5 of us. Thank you. Before I introduce our next speaker, I want to say, I know that during COVID, as you all are aware, the BPP started a kitchen at Kamabag. We serve 220 meals a day, 6,000 meals over 2 months, free for the poor and the deserving of our community. I want to make a special mention to Kaiwan and Farzeen Amrolia. Because I believe this idea that the BPP inherited started from your own very Rustam Baug residents who, sorry, what did I say? Please koi mane marta nahi, sorry, Nawroz Baug. So, it's election time, forgive me. But it's from your very own Nawroz Baug residents that started this and the BPP inherited this idea. I don't think they have been given enough credit for this, so I don't think we have acknowledged it. But if Kaiwan and Farzeen are here, I think the BPP, the residents of your colony, the residents of all our colonies, owe you a big thank you and a big round of applause to the both of them. So thank you, Kaiwan and Farzeen. I know that there were a lot of COVID warriors in Nawroz Baug itself and in every city, in every colony that we had who helped us deliver. But before I introduce the next speaker, I want to make a special mention because this speaker was not only one of the COVID warriors of the Parsi community, he was voted amongst the top 100 COVID warriors in India by the IDMA. Friends, let me introduce to you Rumi Zarir.